One more minute. I'll share my, I think I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen, everyone? A quick response. Okay, Mackenzie says yes. Okay, that's wonderful. Right. Let me just open up a few of my notes as well alongside. Okay, so let's start our topic. I think it's 11:29. That means it's 12:59, and now this is the time is up for me. And now I'll start. Okay, so we have started talking about JavaScript. We have just talked about JavaScript's, you know, nature, what it was meant for when it was first developed. Then we talked about that there are a few things that have made it possible that now JavaScript is used on server side as well for making dynamic websites. And also JavaScript is these days used for desktop or console based applications. Then we saw that how to run JavaScript. I showed you that we can run JavaScript by using terminal. And if you are running a JavaScript file by using terminal, you are actually running this file as a desktop application, not as a web application. Then you can run this by using web browser. And we did that. I created an HTML file and I just included this script tag. This script element can be placed inside head or it can be placed inside body. I will later on tell you that what is the real reason behind putting it over here or over top. But the concept is, unlike link tag, which used to link our CSS, the script can be included in head or it can be included in the body of the document. We saw that, and then we talked about that not only running by browser, we can run that. Even we can have a rapid application or quick checking of the code. For that, we use the REPL, something which is called REPL. And this REPL is read, evaluate, process, and loop. So we just, quickly write the JavaScript, try to see the output, write the JavaScript, try to see the output. For that, we saw that we have still like two types of REPLs. One REPL we found in our terminal, and that was very interesting. I'm just repeating that. Just write node and hit enter, you get the REPL over here. If I come out by using Control C, then I talked about the browser REPL, and I showed you that a browser REPL is something. Browser REPL is something when you go to inspect, you will find this console area, and this is very much a browser REPL. And I told you one of the method, hello, something like that. And if I do that, I will get an alert message over there, or I showed you console.log, console.want. Anyhow, so this is how you run your JavaScript files. Now, be very clear how I would be running JavaScript for maybe for a week or two. I will be just running my JavaScript by using this terminal. It means I will be running it as a desktop application for some time. And why? You know why? Because in JavaScript, and then we'll just combine them, both of them. But what I'm saying is that actually what we want to do, that we want to understand JavaScript in its entire form. You know what I mean? For that reason, what I'll do is that for the time being, I'll close my index.html and I will just run this script.js to show you that how much powerful JavaScript, or you can say in other words, right now we are trying to understand the nitty-gritty details of JavaScript, and we will we will try to run our JavaScript not on our website, but for first week, we will be running that on our machine. Is that making sense to everyone? So maybe for this week, I will never again open this index.html, or maybe if I would like to show you something, I might go over there. But right now I won't be opening index.js. Index.js is stopped for good time. Why? Because I want to tell you the details or the in-depth understanding of JavaScript before going anywhere else. So Mackenzie has already shown thumbs up. Everyone is with me or aligned with that? Because sometimes you will just start getting, okay, we started JavaScript, we went to the browser. Where is the browser now? So browser is gone for some time, right? So we will be in our console-based application and we want to just run few things over here. Okay. Right. So now we are starting the JavaScript introduction, and after first program, we'll just start the introduction of JavaScript. Now, first thing that you learn in any language should be variables. Variables in any language. What are variables? So variables are those particular areas or memory locations that we use to keep something for particular time. We use variables to store some value, manipulate those values, and then those variables gets updated with the passage of time. Now, how to define variables in JavaScript? You are familiar with variables in Python. Today, I'll talk about the JavaScript variable. In JavaScript, there are three keywords that we use to define variables. One of them is var, one of them is let, and the last one is const. These are the three keywords that we use to define variables in JavaScript. Makes sense, everyone? It's basically there are these three keywords through which we will define variables. Now, this is the theoretical concept. Now let's come back over here in the script. And now I will just remove this script, or maybe I'll put that as a comment because this is just a comment. Right. So variables can be defined like this: var x. Var x. I can say var age, for example. I can say var f name, first name, for example. I can say var height, for example. Defining variables. In JavaScript, when you want to define variable, you either use var or you either use let y, for example, let age, something like that, you know. So we can use both of them. And even we can use another one, const z, const age, something like that. You know what I mean? So these are the ways to define variables. Right? It's just giving declaration. Okay, yeah. So it should be initialized anyhow. So we can use the const, we can use let, and we can use var. You might be thinking, what is the different purposes of this? I am not telling you what is the purpose of this var right now, because I would like to just, keep this with me. What I will do right now is that instead of using all these methods, I will just use this var keyword for the time being. And again, as we'll progress in our language, I would like to tell you, okay, why, what is the specific purpose of var, and what is the specific purpose of let. But right now, you have to just keep in mind, okay, in JavaScript, variables can be defined by using var keyword, by using let keyword, by using const keyword. But right now we will stick to just var. Make sense, everyone? I'll cut this one and I'll put that in notes again, just to make our life a bit easier. So I'll put that in notes. So I just have var, right? Okay, just give me a second. I want to just, run my notes also side by side so that I should not miss anything. I just want to be very sure that we are covering everything. Okay, so the first thing is that we declare variables, we define variables in our JavaScript by using var keyword. And as I told you that JavaScript, there are multiple ways of defining these variables, but right now we'll be just using this JavaScript variables. Now, another very important thing. JavaScript is case sensitive. What does that mean when I say a language is case sensitive? Can anyone tell me? JavaScript is case sensitive. What does that mean, case sensitive? Can anyone tell me what is the case sensitive means of a language? If you say a language is a case sensitive language, what does that really mean? Ian, yes, you are right, up and over, but what does that mean specifically? Exactly. So it means if I write var name and I write var name. Now tell me the answer. Will they be considered as the same in JavaScript or no? Yes or no? Exactly. So This is called case sensitivity, and our JavaScript is case sensitive. So it will say N, capital N is a different word. This name is a different. So that's wonderful. So JavaScript is case sensitive, number one. Number two, there are different naming conventions. I don't remember. Please remind me. Have I discussed these naming conventions with you? Naming conventions. Naming convention. Naming conventions mean naming variables, naming functions. So naming conventions, one of the naming convention is camel case. Do you know about this camel case naming convention? Anyone? Or did I discuss any naming conventions before? Exactly. You remember the snake case, camel case. Did I talk about that, David? Oh, you have learned that in Python. That's wonderful. So you know camel case. So in JavaScript we do that. We try to use this camel casing. First name. I'm supposing everyone knows that. First name, the first words, first letter should be small, and rest every letter will be capital. So for example, var, date of birth. So you see, O and B are capitalized, D is small. Can I get a thumbs up from everyone? Some guys have responded. David and Neil. You understand this camel casing? That's wonderful. So when we're defining our function also, we'll be using this camel case. Right? Or snake case we can use, whatever. But usually we prefer this camel casing. Right. And then if I write down console.log hello or something like that, you see that this statement terminator that I'm using this for your info. Oh, Ian says I do not recall it. Ian, if you do not even recall it, no problems. I'll just tell you. Ian, what does camel case says? That if you are combining two words, first name are two words, you know. So this is a very invalid variable name. Variable or function name should not contain space. Ian, are you getting that? I just want to make you very clear here. You know, this is a invalid name. Why? The variable name or the function name should not contain a space. Good. Now, if you want to make it a valid variable, you can do that. That if you are combining two words together, first name, you do what? The first letter of first name. Yes, first letter of first, first word. So first letter should be small, and rest every letter should start with a capital. This is in our naming convention called camel case. And I'm intentionally writing camel case like this. You see camel case, first C small, second C capital. Now the other one Neil is talking about. First of all, see here, date of birth, D small, yeah, D small and O capital and B capital. This is another camel case. Now the other one they're talking about, snake case. It is like that. I'll say first underscore name. This is called snake case. And snake case is written down like this. Snake case. So date of birth will be written date of birth. So this is snake case again. Ian, are you getting that? And not Ian, I'm talking to everyone. Do you understand? Naming convention. This is just the naming convention. But one thing to remember, that will never be neglected by the browser or someone. That variable should never contain a space on that one. So I'll cut that and I'll again put that in notes so that this is the snake case and then camel case we have talked about already. So we defined our variables like camel case. OK, the next thing I want to discuss here is the comments in JavaScript. So comments are very interesting. This is a single line comment. And if you want to comment // asterisk. This is a multi-line, bear with my spellings, comment. You know about that? And now you don't need to worry about that making a comment. You know that JavaScript has a shortcut for that one. So for example, if I write hello, something like that, and I want to make it comment, you take your cursor to the start and hit Control or Command /. It will become a comment. Do you know this shortcut, everyone? That you want to, and this will toggle. If I again hit Control /, Command /, it will toggle back to the normal text. Now, what are comments? Comments are the dead lines of code that compiler does not execute. They are just there for the help. So you see that I have made that comment. It means I've dead this comment. Like I've just this comment is dead. It means that now it should not be running. it should not be producing output. And if you come before the text and you just hit control forward slash command forward slash, is that keyword key for you? Command forward slash and everything will become a comment. I'm not hearing from anyone. Is that working for everyone? When you hit command forward slash, it is making comment. That's wonderful. So you see, I can make multiple lines comment as well. I select both of the lines and I hit control forward slash. You see, both of them have gone comments. And I can do that, I can do the toggling. If I again do that, they will be again back to the life. So these are comments. Right? Right. So we are already using prettier and the code should be properly indented. And what do I mean? Please don't worry about this code and don't write it. For example, if I write ABC and I write var C, you see, I'm writing the bad code and you know that what will happen. So if I say console.log and I did give so much spaces and I say hello, something like that. So you see how bad code I have written down. But now see, as I hit, as I hit Control S, that why don't need a var here. Yeah, so you don't need a var here. Okay, so you see that as I do that, it makes it very proper. So it means all those white spaces are ignored. You see, all those white spaces are ignored. If I do that, bad code, but my prettier is making this life easier. And if I hit Control S, my alt code will become like this. You know what I mean? Don't worry about the function. I'll talk about that. But you understand that what's going on? That white spaces and things like that have they are ignored. Now there comes another important thing. So block statements. Now you are not familiar with the block statements like it is there in JavaScript. Whenever you have to make a block, you will have to make these curly braces. This will be called as a block. Make sense, everyone? Block. So what does that mean? For example, in our program, if I can write if, for example, X is greater than 1, something like that, and I want to run something. So, in JavaScript, in Python, you might use the indenting or something, but here I will use a curly braces and I will say, for example, console.log 1 printed, something like that. You see what I mean? That this represents a block. So block means curly braces starting and ending. This is one block. Right? This is called one block. Okay. Please feel that I'm going fast. Let me know then and there, and I will just try to adjust my speed. So that's called the block in JavaScript. Right? And there comes another very important part in JavaScript, which are called functions. And this is the most basic, building block of JavaScript program. Functions. We have something called functions, and I would write something out. They are one of the primary building blocks of JavaScript. First of all, you should understand that. What are functions? Can anyone define function? What is a function with respect to Python, maybe? Functions. Do you remember what were functions in Python, maybe? No one is replying. Do you remember there was something called functions in Python as well? It's a built-in command line syntax. That's wonderful. Anyone else? Because I'm just trying to get idea. Var. No, not var. I'm talking about functions. Functions. So it's a good feedback because that's telling me that maybe you are not that familiar. Console, a block of code. Yeah, exactly, Kara. This is exactly the right definition. Now I will write the definition. Thank you very much, everyone, for answering, for replying. Now see functions definition. A function defines a subprogram, exactly subroutine, a subprogram or a subroutine that can be called by the other parts of the program. Parts of your code, by the way, of your code. right? What does that mean? I want to add two numbers. So, and my program will add two numbers 1,000 times, 100 times, for example. So one is that for every time when I need to add two numbers, I write the code. Okay, A plus uh, input A, input B, A plus B, and then result is C. One method is that I write these three lines in every place where I need to add something. The second way is that I create a function and I just need to call that, and that function will come and run for me. Now, we have seen one function running over here, which is a but so this log is typically a function. How do you recognize something as a function? How do you recognize something as a function? If I ask you, is this ABC function? You will say no. How would you recognize? ABC should have this rounded parenthesis. Now you will say, okay, ABC is a function. If I ask you this XYZ is a function, you will say no. If I ask you, is this a function? You will say, yes, this is a function. So a function needs to have this rounded parenthesis with its name. Again, I'll tell you how to define that in JavaScript, but right now just try to understand the function. You're understanding the function? Now, every function. Now, I might look for those helping hands who can create this, who can take a picture of this and share this one. I will just like to tell you, a function has a name ABC and has these parentheses that tells me, okay, this will be a function, and I am defining a function over here, the body of the function, block of the function, right? Now, I would like you to just discuss or focus on something very, very important. Every function has the capability to receive some parameters. So the parameters it receives always come inside the parenthesis. For example, I say that it will accept um, a name, for example. It will accept a name, ABC function, right? Rather than ABC, I'll just give a very, real world example, something like, and I will be using this example. I have a function called, I won't name this. Hopefully my writing is clear to you. My function is this. Can anyone tell me what is the function name? What is the function name? Because I want to check my drawing. Greeting, thank you. Greeting function, right? Greeting function. Now, this is a greeting function that will do something. I don't know what it will do, but I'll talk about this. This is the body of the function, right? Wonderful. This greeting function accepts one parameter. So again, whatever it accepts as parameter should come in the bracket sign. So for example, I say that it will accept one parameter and the parameter is name parameter. It will accept some name from outside world. So whatever function accepts is called the parameter or the argument of the function. It is called argument or the parameters of the function, argument. Right? Argument of the function. So function might accept some values, whatever values it accepts, it will be written in the parenthesis. Function might return some value. Return means it will just, when it will be called, it will give back something. So that give back something we can just, mention over here with a statement return. Return, and I say, for example, I say ln. I don't know what, I'm just, giving you an example. Now I would be looking for feedback after completing this one because this is very important. This is a greeting function that accepts one parameter. Don't worry about the name of the parameter. It can be anything. It can be X, it can be A, V, C, Y. It's an argument, right? It will accept one name or one argument, and it will return one string value out of this function. Whenever someone will call, it will return that value. Make sense, everyone? Now, can someone take a picture and share it? Because then I will write something else. Quickly take a picture and share it. Who was that? Who was that guy who was taking very fast picture? Still waiting. Still waiting. Where are those fast guys? Snipping tool is not on for anyone, looks like. Snipper is not on. Wonderful. Kara, thank you very much. Kara, thank you. Now I'm deleting this one because now I'm giving you a very real world example. Hopefully you will enjoy this example. There is a function named what is the name of the function? Anyone? Juicer. Name of the function juicer. This is the body of the function. Okay, now listen. Juicer is a function that has the capability to accept something. So I might write here apples. Juicer is a function that will accept apples. I can pass apples to it. I can give apples to it, number one. And what happens is that it returns. It returns what? A juicer function will return what if you pass apple to it? Yes, so I can just write juice. Now listen about that one. Very interesting. It's a juicer function. If you pass apple to it, it will process them, do something on them, and it will return juice out of it. Is that everyone understanding that? It will give me an apple juice or something like that. It will give me a juice. Is that clear? So whatever it can accept will come in the parenthesis, and whatever it will return will come with the return keyword. Mark says yes. This is very important concept. And if you understand that, because JavaScript is purely depending upon the functions. I would like to hear from Darren Sparrow as well. Darren, are you understanding the function's basic structure? A function accepts something, a function returns something out of it. Wonderful. Darren says yes. Okay. So rather, I would be talking to everyone that whenever if someone is having a problem, let me know. Now, maybe Kara or someone can take this picture as well. Interesting, because this would be also a reminder for some guys. Okay, function is something that we pass something, so we pass apples to it. Okay, and let me tell you, if I rather than passing apples, I pass oranges over here, what I will get? Of course, I'll still get the juice, but of course the juice will be of different type. But I can pass the oranges as well. Thank you very much, Kara. Thank you. So you have done that. No need to just copy this orange part, anything. Now let's talk about some programming functions. Now, who will read out this function for me? Add, and I write A comma B, and I write curly braces, and I write return A plus B. I would need a volunteer over here. Can any volunteer out of this section, is this class, can unmute themselves and explain this function like as I was explaining? You know, again, that how would you define this function? This function will accept what, return what, something like that. Is there any volunteer who can do that for me?
So
go ahead, sorry.
Okay, David, yes, go ahead. Yeah.
We'll see if I can explain it all right. So basically, whatever, like at the top says add AB. So whatever values or parameters are in there that you send, that are received will then be added in return. So whatever value that is gets added together in return for your output.
Wonderful, David. That's excellent. Neil, did you want to say the same thing? Or maybe you would like to give it some other words, Neil?
No, mine was pretty similar. I guess you take in two variables, which is A and B, and then the calculation will be adding them together, and then it turn A, B, or I guess, or maybe the total depends on what.
That's a wonderful thing. And you know why I have asked you guys to speak about it? Because you know my philosophy of teaching is that when you speak, you learn more. It's my philosophy, and that's why I keep on encouraging you to reply to talk to me. That's wonderful. Now, I want you to understand a very slight difference, but this, like a lot of students, they are always confused in this concept. I don't want you to be confused in this concept, but just remember this thing, that returning from a function is very different from output of a function. Output and return are two different stories. I will give you example. Just first of all, remember these words. This is very important. This will, you know, stop so much confusion. I can say, okay, as David has said, as Neil has said, it's a function. You pass in two values to it, two variables, two values. It will add them and it will return those values. Return, typically throw them out, like the addition will be thrown out of the function. Everyone makes sense of it? Now I'm writing another function. And I would like someone to read this for me. Again, other than Neil and David. Add A, comma B, bracket sign, again, the body of the function. And rather than returning, I'm saying console.log, which is, you understand, which is a statement that basically prints something, right? A plus B. Okay, I need a volunteer who can read this function out for me. There is a difference between this function and the previous one. Who is the volunteer who will read this function out for me? Ian or Glenn or Kara or Mackenzie, can you try it out? Darren, I would be happy to have Tyler, anyone. Don't worry about if you are speaking wrong. That's not a problem because we have not discussed these things in detail. But I want you to understand that. That's why I want you to speak about it. Ian, would you try it out? Oh, Neil, I can see Glenn has unmuted. Let's talk about it. Yeah, Glenn, go ahead.
I was just thinking, if console log works like print works in Python, then wouldn't it still do the calculation because of the plus sign? Like,
right. Very nice. You are right. Console.log is exactly as the same print function of Python. You're right.
So we're going to pass in two different variables or two different values, yeah. And then console log is going to print whatever is in the parentheses, and then what we're telling it to print is functionally the same equation. So we're going to get the same thing as if we were asking it to return.
Okay, but Glenn, just stop here. Glenn, you said it yourself. This function will not return the value, throw it out of the body, but it will just print inside its body. You know the difference? That is what I want you to understand. Glenn, are you understanding? Glenn, can you unmute you for a second? Yeah, because I enjoy discussing it. You know, Glenn, what I'm talking about?
Yep, that makes sense.
So now I need everyone and Glenn, you to understand the concept. There is a concept, return value. Return means throw the value back from the it, because return keyword is used over there. I have not used the return keyword over here. I would like to have a thumbs up from everyone when I discuss complete that. Okay, here I'm saying that add is a function that accepts two values, adds them and prints them, but does not throw back out. So someone is calling, it won't return that function to that value to that. It will say, okay, I have done the calculation, but I'm not returning the value. So getting the value returned and getting the value print, two different stories altogether.
I have a question on that though. With Python, you can omit the return entirely and the return value is none. Is that the same thing here? Like if we don't have the function return something, is it returning anything at all, or is the value set?
That's an excellent question. Remember, for JavaScript, short answer. For JavaScript, remember, if I'm not returning explicitly anything, it returns something which is called undefined. I will tell you what is undefined, but right now understand, if you do not return something explicitly, implicitly it returns undefined value. You know what I mean? Glenn, that's a wonderful question. I hope this is, and I'm really enjoying this discussion because, you know, it means that guys are getting that. Everyone, David, are you understanding the concept? If a function, if you do not use the return statement, it says, okay, because return is not used, I will definitely return something, but I will definitely return an undefined because you have not asked me to return anything. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I hope that, like, you know, Mackenzie and Kara, are you understanding that one? Darren as well. Darren Sperrin, I would be happy to know your feedback as well. There are function. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Can I have this picture as well from Kara or someone? That would be wonderful because, you know, this is collecting in notes and everyone can see that later on that what was the code that was written over here. I don't have a mic on this. Okay, no problem, Ian. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Okay, so should I hope someone has taken the picture of this screen as well? So I'm just telling you, return and output are two different. Yeah, David, go ahead.
Yes, good. So console log would just be used for, say, testing your code to see what it might come up as. I mean, what purpose would console log have then?
Okay, I have not discussed, in detail about console log. I'll talk about that, but remember right now, just remember, console log is doing exactly the same job right now as your print used to do for Python. Just right now, remember that. And I'll
Perfect.
talk about what is this console, what is this log. I'll talk about both of them separately. Right? So just right now consider that, okay, our print statement has been replaced with console.log for JavaScript purposes. No worries at all other than that. Okay. Now listen. So functions are the primary building blocks of JavaScript. A function defines a subprogram that can be called by other parts of your code. We can write a function to add two numbers, and whenever I call that function, it will add two numbers and go away. This will be the job of my function. You know what I mean? And that's a very, very interesting thing. So remember, yes. So I'll just again show you again. So console.log is doing what over here? Just printing out the value. Whatever you will go in console.log and you run your program, you'll see that it will be just thrown out of the output. It will just return on the output. Console.log is right now doing that for us. And what I'll do is that I'll just even take this one to the notes, to the variables and something like that. Okay. So again, make it a comment. That's wonderful. Now I'll talk about data types in JavaScript. What are the data types? Because data types is an important issue. And I'll talk about functions. We'll be creating so many functions. Don't worry. So now we'll see data types. What are the different data types in JavaScript? Interestingly, you see that when we define a variable in JavaScript, we do not give any type. I say var first name. Have I given any string data type, integer, Boolean data type? No. So JavaScript is generally considered as a typeless language. You don't need to define any type. Rather, whatever you store become the type of that variable. See what I'm doing. I'm saying first name is equal to 20. Now the type of this first name has become an integer value, a number value. Are you getting that? Or if I do first name equal to Alan. Now it says, okay, user friendly. JavaScript is so friendly. It will say, okay, you wanted to, you first stored integer. I became integer number, but then you stored a string. I became a string. It's so flexible and friendly for that matter. So JavaScript has certain data types that we will discuss here now that we can use in our program. So I'll go to the notes. The first data type that JavaScript represents is number, just number. Whenever we store any number, be it a whole number. Yeah, exactly. Boolean is another data type. We'll talk about that. So number is one of them. If you want to define a whole number, an integer number, or you want to define, a whole number or a fraction number, whatever, everything will come under one umbrella and that will be called as Neil. That's a very nice answer. So that will be treated as a number data type. Is that right? So number is a data type which can be worked for the integers, floats, etc. Any value that we have. Now I will show this example because now I will be showing you the example side by side. So if I write var and I say age, right? And I would like to know what is the type of this age. For example, age is equal to 20. So it's a number now. I've stored a number into that one. Now let's type that console.log. Now see here, you are continuously asking this question. Console.log is just to print few things. If I put something in inverted commas, it prints as it is. For example, if I say hello will be printed out exactly the same. Or if I want to print a variable without inverted commas, I will write that variable age. And this will print out the age over here. Everyone making sense of it? Age has a value. So it just takes the value because it was a variable. Because it's a variable, it's used as a variable over here. It just takes the value and prints out the value. What is the process of var here again? It is just to declare it is exactly, it's a variable, but we don't know what's the type of it. Because Mackenzie, I'm telling you that it's a typeless language. Whatever you store becomes the type of that one. You know what I mean? It will become the type of that variable. So var is used to declare variable just. Now, if I want to combine both of these things, how would I combine? See here, I will write in console, and I think you should be familiar with that. I will write in console, the age is, I will go after this inverted commas, write a plus, concatenation, and I will write age. Now what will be my output? See here. The age is 20. Mackenzie, did you get the answer of var first of all? And then did you understand this one, the concept that I'm writing? This is called concatenation. Plus is concatenating a string with an integer variable, with a number variable. I would like everyone to be with me. Then I will move forward because these are all basics. And if the basics become strong, then you will be able to do programming. Otherwise, you will be stuck in some places. Are you understanding that? So string and number has been has been concatenated together. This is called concatenation. So I would write it over here maybe. Plus is a concatenation operator in JavaScript. Plus is the concatenation, or that concatenates two different data types. And if they are same data type, there is a question, interesting question. Rather than if I don't write this age, I write 10. Can you guess what will be my output now? I will be happy to know from everyone. What will be my output now without running this program? 10 plus age. 10 plus age. What would be my output here? Exactly, because there are no strings, it should take both of them integer. So now plus will not do concatenation because both sides are integer. Plus will say, OK, I have to add both of them. So age is an integer variable, but it has 20 value. 20 plus 10 is equal to 30. And I'm telling you very basics. I'm hoping that everyone understand that because this is basics. That's why I'm taking so much time in this to make you understand. So if I write something like this, now I need answer. Put now. Now what will be my output? 1020. Good. Anyone else? Neil says 1020. I'm not making sense of it. 1020. Neil, why 1020? Exactly. That's wonderful. Wonderful. 1020 without any space. And I would like to know from others. Neil, Ian, and Glenn are very clear. Everyone is clear on that one? Exactly. Now 10 is a string, and a string has been concatenated with the value. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I hope I'm happy. I'm happy about that one. OK, my topic was not this. What I had to discuss. So there is a special operator in JavaScript that tells you the type of the variable. So I can write console.log. See here, there is an operator called type of space and age. I want to know what is the type of age over here. You know what I mean? I want to know what is the type of age. Age is a number, string. I don't know. Now let's come here. What do you see here? Type of is telling me what is the type of age, even though we did not know what is the type of age. Now tell me another thing. If I write this, of course, you understand now this won't be a number. It should be something else. Let's check what it will be. It's a string now. That's wonderful, Neil. I'm happy that you guys are catching it fully clearly, right? So type of age is 20 over here. Now, an interesting question. If I delete this line. Yes, Ian, sometimes for validations, sometimes for just knowing that what is the type of variable that I have received. So we will use them. Now, what will be my answer? OK, that's wonderful. Neil already know that it should be undefined because I have not given any value. So to start with, variable does not have any type on it. That's a wonderful thing. So what I understand is that you understand number is a whole number or fraction. Then there is a data type called string. All strings will come inside that. JavaScript, we can make strings with 3 types. Double quotations is also a string. Single quotation also represent strings. And there is one more that I'm not telling you right now. I'll tell you shortly later on. But there is a third one as well, which I have not discussed. I'm writing question mark. I'll tell you later on. Strings can be declared as double quotations, single quotations, or something else. What is that? It's a hidden. Now there is another data type, Boolean, which is of course true and false, as someone said true, right? Then here comes something very, very special that might not 100% make sense right now to everyone. but it will make sense very soon. There is a special data type in JavaScript, which is called object data type. Object data type. Okay, looks a bit weird, looks a bit not not maybe a familiar thing, but I'm just telling you what are the object, and then I'll tell you what is the object data. Arrays will be an object data type. Date is an object data type. Even the functions that we'll create in JavaScript are object data types. But what are object data types? Not telling you explicitly. I'll tell you when the time will come, when we'll start discussion on that one. There is one more data type in in JavaScript, null. Null is also a data type. You will say, okay, what is that? It's a value that means, listen here, this is intentionally nothing. When we want to say something intentionally nothing, versus, what is versus? Undefined. Now listen, undefined is something which is not defined. You saw in the beginning when I did var age and I did not define the value, it said, okay, it is undefined. I don't know what's the type. If I say var age is equal to null, it will tell me, okay, intentionally age is null. It should not be left behind as an undefined. I will make it null. So you understand, everyone? For example, I go back over here and I show you var age, and you remember this program was creating what? This program is creating what? Undefined. If I come over here and I say age equal to null, intentionally, forcefully, it should be null. Now let's run that and see what happens. Now you see what has come out. It says the type is object. So null also comes under object. Null is not a separate data type. It will also consider as an object or something. You see, object is coming. And right now, just understand, null is used where you explicitly want to say it is nothing. I want to forcefully say it is nothing. It is not undefined. Undefined means I have left it. Is null to show the calculation of function is working to test. Neil, in certain situation, null will be used for one purpose, for the other. Not maybe exactly as you are asking it, but of course it will be used for a particular purpose. Age is equal to null, right? And then comes another important value, which we have already talked about, undefined. What is that undefined? A special value that indicates a value has never been defined. So undefined will tell us that, okay, a value has never been defined. But if a value has been defined and I want to show that it is nothing, but I have defined that, I would define it null. I will store null into that one. Righto. You understand, everyone? Now I would like to just tell you some examples things, and here I will just tell you some interesting one. So declaration, how we would declare that? What will be the data type for that one? And what will be the value? So I'm just giving you these examples and you will really enjoy that. So if I write var s1 equal to inverted commas some text, right? Now, can anyone tell me what should be the type of this var s1? What should be the type of this? Anyone? We have discussed that much now. Wonderful string. And what will be the value of this one? Of course, some text. Some text will be the value. Everyone understand that? Now I will just keep on populating this table. If I write var s2 is equal to single quotation some text. Quotation. What will be its data type? Anyone? I've talked about that. String again. Yes. And what will be the value over here? It will be some text. And I'm intentionally writing inverted commas. The value will be some text, right? Okay. RS3 equal to single quotation 142. What will be the data type here? After Ian's string, 2 strings. What will be the data type here? Again a string. No, not number. Ian, not number. String. Single quotation is always represented as string. Ian, you got it? Single. So single quotation, if a number comes, it is basically a string, still string. Yeah. Okay. And what will be the value? The value will be 172 in inverted commas. 172 is the value. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Now let's talk about this one. Var s4 equal to single quotation 152, single quotation closed, plus 5. Will be the data type of S4. Anyone? S4 data type will be what? S4 data type will be what? Anyone? This is quite interesting fact. Data string, excellent string. Why? Because you remember? No, not object. Listen, this will be string. And why string? See here. Because a string concatenated with a number will become a string itself. Exactly. That's wonderful. And what will be the value? Can anyone tell me the value of this one? What will be the value? It will be 1, 5, 2, 5. That's wonderful, Neil. Thank you very much. This will be the value of this one. So it is basically what? It is concatenation. Or versus what? Addition. It is not doing addition. If there were two integers, it would have added them. Okay, now you come up. N1 equal to 142. This value. Now be careful. What is the data type of this value? Anyone? Data type of this value. N1 is equal to 142 without any single quotation, double quotation. Oh, that's wonderful. Number, not integer, right? We have number for that. Okay, what will be the value? Of course, 142, whatever is the value. Okay, var n2 equal to 122.45, something like that. What is the data type of this? Again, number, right? Don't worry about that because we don't have integer float here, just a number. So number, and what will be the value of this one? It will be 122.43 value. Okay, var n3, or rather just leave that, b1 equal to true. What will be the data type of this one? What will be the data type of this one? Kaylee, good to, yeah. So Boolean, right? And what will be the value? Of course, the value will be true, of course. No big deal. Okay, var b2 equal to false. And we know that it is again a Boolean. And its value is false. That's wonderful. Okay, now let's move forward. There are lots of things that I want you to just understand, and you'll really enjoy that because I'm about to tell you a few very interesting facts over here. Okay, if I say var c, tell me what will be the data type here? Var c, no value assigned. Var c, no value assigned. What will be the data type? Wonderful. Not null. It will be undefined, right? And of course, its value will be also undefined. There is no value related to that. Okay, now let's move on. Var d equal to null. Remember, I have shown you what will be the data type here. When you explicitly store null, the data type will become object. Remember, everyone? And the value, it has a value. The value is null. Yes, exactly. That's wonderful. And this really is a nice thing. Okay. Now I would like, so everyone understand this data type? I hope you understand this data type and we don't need to worry about. So now I'll just give a small code in the script. I'll just comment everything back, and rather commenting that, what I can do is that again, just as I've been doing, I'll just take all these things and put that in chat in the text our notes, because I want to keep my file very clear. So I'll just place them over here. And now I want to write a program in. Now see, now let's write a program. Var pi is equal to 3.14159. The pi value. Var pi is equal to 3.1415. Var radius equal to 4.2, something like that. Var area. Now, if I ask you over here, what is the data type of this pi? Anyone? Data type of this pi? After Glenn's OBJ. Data type of this pi. What should be the number? That's wonderful. What should be the data type of this radius? After, okay, number. That's wonderful. What is the data type of this area? Right now. That's wonderful. Thank you. Yes, Kara, you are right. Undefined. And Ian, you are right. Undefined. It will be undefined. That's wonderful. Now let's move forward. If I say area equal to pi into radius into radius. You know the formula for the area, calculation of area, right? Calculate the area. Now, if I just ask you, what will be the area data type now? As data type. I'm talking about the area data type only. Will it be still undefined or now it will have some value into it? Wonderful, it will become a number. Yeah, that's wonderful. Now let's move forward. I want to print this console.log and I come inside that and I say area equal to, now concatenate it with area plus inverted commas \n. How many of you know \n is what? Do you know what is \n? That the thing that I've written down over here. Exactly, new line. Have you studied that in your Python or maybe before that somewhere? That's wonderful. \n is basically a new line, escape character. Yes, escape sequence, escape character. That's wonderful. Anyhow, so you see that now my program will run like this. Area is equal to 55.14.41769. Now, if I want to know the, okay, what I have discussed. So for example, if I want to know that what was the data type of area over here, console.log, again, before calculation, before anything, if I say type of area, you know, here what will happen? Of course, you know, because I've not given anything. And again, I copy and paste this line again. Oh, sorry. Copy and paste it over here as well. Now tell me, what will be my output now? Of course, you know, this is very simple. My output is undefined. For this line, it is undefined, of course, you know, because area has not been given anything. For this line, it is number. Of course, now it has become a number because number has been stored. And for this line, of course, the area is basically, it is printing over here. Is that making sense to everyone? And now, if I comment this line and I come over here and you know, out of my foolish thinking, if I say area equal to hello plus pi plus radius, no multiplication, right? if I out of my foolishness, if I do something like this, can you tell me what will be the difference between this output and the new output? Can anyone tell me what will be my new output now? Exactly, undefined string, because undefined will come from this one and string comes from this one. And you see that area hello, it's basically making a nonsense because I've not calculated that. So it's just saying that area is equal to it has taken out this string and it has printed out over there. It's a non-sensible sort of thing. But again, I've just done that over here. You know what I mean? So now it has become a string. Was I successful in inculcating this data types in you? Like, you know, this all table, everyone understand this one? It's a very important data type. We are in the very early days of our JavaScript till now, but I would really be happy to see that you guys are understanding this one. You know these basics, because now we'll be moving forward. And in tomorrow's class, like, you know, tomorrow's class, we will just talk about some of expressions, some nice programming constructs, looping and everything. And hopefully you will enjoy that. Darren Sparrow, are you with me, Darren? Are you understanding? This is just basics. We have just started. So whatever point any one of you start feeling that I am going fast or you are not making sense of few things, please let me know then and there. Is that right? Now, for the practice of all these concepts, you can just, you know, try it out on your own, that play with these data types. Okay. Okay, if I combine two strings, what happens if I combine one number and one string? If I combine Boolean and something, you know, you can play with that one. And I've given you one operator of type of, which is a very nice operator, which you can take and you can just play with this type of operator over there. Right. So I will be stopping here and I'm hoping that today you got the good introduction of JavaScript. and hopefully we'll continue with some good stuff, and we will just, come up with some new things. Any questions from anyone? If you have, I will just share these files with you again, of course, with updates on that one. I will definitely update that and will share with you. So any questions, if you have, you can just go ahead and ask right now. Okay, that's good. David says all good. Okay, so now updated files I'll just share here. Hopefully I'll be able to share here. I don't know. That's good, Mark Hennem. That's wonderful to know. And okay, if you are good with that, let's see you tomorrow. And with the hope that, and again, please keep an eye on your, as I said, QAP2. I'll be definitely, it's, as I said, it would be a continuation of QAP1. You have to just implement a style on that QAP1 with some requirements that I will give you, right? But otherwise it would be a more or less that one. So I'll definitely give that. Do we have our Alex Ridgely session today, KPM session, or tomorrow? I think it's on Tuesday. Oh no, it's on Monday. It's on Monday. It's there. I think it's today. So I will just, try my best to as soon as possible. I can give you. Yes, Alex today. That's wonderful. So you have Mike tomorrow. No, you have Alex today. Then on Wednesday, Alex is again, and on Thursday and Friday we have Mike Warden, right? So that's wonderful. That's an opportunity, nice opportunity to have that. So okay, I will be now sharing the notes, and please, you can just, if you want, you can leave the meeting, or if you want, you can, if you have a question, you can just go ahead and ask the questions, whatever you want. So I'm making a copy of both of them, because so that I can upload that one. So you will find that with the name of copy, but you will know that this is all the code that we have done today. But on our like general there, I will just update my folders over there. So that's notes.js copy and script copy. So it would be hopefully no naming convention, like, problems with the